guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today we are finally getting into some of our new detailing products. The first one is going to be Frothy from Ammo, and alongside of it we're going to be testing out the new Ammo Pro Foamer. And with that, we're going to be going through how to manually compress it and then also using the air compressor and see the time difference it is between hand pumping this thing up to be compressed and then using an air compressor to compress it. And then finally, we are going to pour in our Frothy into our tank over here. And we already have 2.5 gallons worth of water in there, and then all we need to do is just pour this whole bottle in there. So let's start by seeing how long it takes to do a hand pump to compress this, and then we'll switch over to the air compressor and see how much faster that's going to be. All right, and let's see how long this takes to do. So we're at about 3.5 bars right now of pressure, or roughly about 50 psi. Let's switch over to the air compressor, see how long it takes to fill up. All right, so hooking this thing up to the air compressor is pretty simple if you remember from the unboxing. And if you didn't watch that, then the link will be in the description below. But you do have an air shutoff valve if you don't need any more air. But it's simple as using the quick connect right here and plugging it in. And then you'll slowly start to see the gauge go. So as you can see, using the air compressor, it gave us about 3.2 or just under 50 psi's of pressure in here. But anyways, I'm gonna bleed off the valve one last time. We'll add the Frothy in and then re-compress it, so that way we can start testing out how well this does, especially for mobile detailing, as opposed to bringing along a pressure washer and a foam cannon in case you don't have access to water. All right, time to add the Frothy. So we'll peel off our nifty little cap. Smells good. And then we'll just pour this whole thing in here. And again, this whole bottle, along with the 2.5 gallons of water, is good for roughly about 20 to 22 vehicles. Bye-bye, Frothy. So we'll go ahead, get this turned back in. We're just going to do another manual pump real quick and get this thing nice and pressurized. Whoa. I do wish that there was like a handle spot on here somewhere, so that way it's just not in the way as you're pumping this thing up. So it's time to test, so I'm going to step back behind the camera and give this a go. Okay. Okay, so we're just doing this much. We're already just right at about 2.1 bars of pressure. So either keep this thing hooked up to an air compressor, or you're just going to have to continuously pump it until you're done. That is super thick. That is nice. And as you can see, this stuff is just dripping off. It's pretty satisfying. All right, and so when you're done spraying off your panel, I would suggest probably only doing one at a time. This foam is really hitting the sensors on the door handles. But once you're done, you're just gonna come in after it's set for a second. Come in and wipe. So I'm going to finish this up real quick, and then we'll talk about what you do once you're done wiping this initial foam off. the majority of it off so far. This stuff is actually super thick. I was not expecting it to be as thick as it was. You can see down here on the ground just the puddle of foam right now, which is pretty awesome. But the finish on the car right now is super slick in the areas that we've already wiped off completely. Once you've done your initial wipe, you're just going to come back through with another microfiber towel, a clean one, and just wipe it back and kind of give it a once over with this clean towel, and hopefully we can get all of this off. But I will say you could probably use this relatively sparingly. Yeah, so this got into all the creases. The foam just keeps kind of like pouring out from everywhere, which is rather just like that. It's rather satisfying to see. So you can definitely, if you wanted to, use this in your door jambs to get those nice and cleaned up. So yeah, that's pretty much all you have to do to use this Pro Foamer. I'm not gonna lie, I like that a lot more than having to get out a pressure washer, hook up the foam cannon. Like, everything's already in there. It's a super easy to do type deal. The only downfall of it is like having continuous pressure, unless you get a quick coupler extension from your air compressor to the Pro Foamer, so that way you can move around the car pretty easily. And then one thing to know, when I was testing this out a little bit, the air compressor doesn't kick back on to start refilling the Pro Foamer with air until it hits about 2.5 bars. So one thing to keep in mind, like, it's not going to continuously stay at like that 3.5-ish range. But otherwise, I am super excited about using this, especially for mobile detailing and just like washes where normally I would probably go to get the foam gun instead of the foam cannon, just because it's not as much work to get out. Now I've got this, and this is probably going to be one of my go-tos for like if I just need a quick wash of my car and it's not super dirty. But if you guys have used Frothy before or have used the Pro Foamer before, let me know in the comments section below how it went for you utilizing both of those products. But other than that, that's going to take care of the testing and initial review of the Ammo Pro Foamer, as well as Frothy, since this is my first time using that as well. And I can't say that I'm thoroughly satisfied so far. But other than that, I'll see you next time. Okay, bye.